Hello, class. We're about to start lesson 2 of chapter 7. So we have lesson 2, triangles. The properties of triangles. A triangle is a closed three-sided plane figure. From the definition, we can infer other properties. Since a triangle has three sides, it must also have three interior angles and three vertices. Okay, now, one thing that I didn't say is this is page 390 that we're actually working on here. A triangle is named by writing its vertices in any order. The triangle shown at the right could be named triangle DEF. Its sides are DE, EF, and DF. Triangles can be classified by the lengths of their sides and by the measures of their angles. In the figures below, sides with the same number of marks are equal. Okay, classified by side lengths. We have the equilateral triangle, which means all the sides are equal. This is comparable to a square. We notice a square is a four-sided figure, but all sides are equal. So an equilateral triangle, all sides are equal, but it's only three sides instead of four. And if you notice here, all the angles are equal as well. Okay, the isosceles triangle. Exactly two sides are equal in length. You notice two sides are equal in length. Note that the two angles opposite these sides are equal. So the two angles opposite these sides are equal. Okay, now the scalene triangle. No sides are equal in length and no angles are equal. Now if you look at this scalene triangle, it kind of reminds you of a trapezoid where no sides are equal and none of the angles are equal. And then the isosceles triangle is almost like a rectangle, except for you only have three sides instead of four. Okay, so now we have, these classifications that I was naming here was based on their sides, the equilateral, isosceles, and scalene. This is based on their sides. On their angles, they're classified as a right triangle if you have a 90-degree angle. And you notice there's that little box there that indicates it's a 90-degree angle. An acute triangle with all angles measured less than 90 degrees. If all of these angles are less than 90 degrees, they're acute. And then obtuse, one angle is greater than 90 degrees. Okay, now, each triangle can be classified in two ways. Now, it says you could classify by sides. Two sides have the same length. So triangle PQR is an isosceles triangle. And then you also notice it has a right angle here. A right angle. So then that means it's also a right angle as well. So you could say it's a right isosceles triangle. So that's the two ways to classify them. Now, this right here is very, very important. The sum of the measures of the interior angles of any triangle is 180 degrees. So any three-sided figure, which is a triangle, when you add up all of the angles, they must equal 180 or it's not a triangle. Now, it says we can use this fact to solve for the missing angle. In triangle ABC, angle A measures 55 degrees and angle B measures 100 degrees. What is the measure of angle C? Now remember, these angles have to equal to 180. So if the measure of A is 55, the measure of B is 100, then we're trying to find a measure of angle C. So when we add these, this would be 155 plus angle C. You will subtract 155 on both sides, so angle C will have to be 25 degrees. Now we come here. Practice 2. It says classify each triangle in two ways. Now if you notice here with number 1, all the sides are equal. So we know it's equilateral. And I will have to, not every day I spell equilateral. So this is equilateral. And then if you notice here, with this being equilateral, that means all the angles have to be the same. And if you come here, let's go back up here for 1 minute. With our equilateral triangle, you notice that all the angles are 60. So that means that all of them are less than 90 degrees. So that would be a acute triangle. So an equilateral and acute. So those are the two. For number 2, now if you notice, we got one angle that's greater than 90 degrees. So we know that would be obtuse. And we typically list the angle last. So it'll be obtuse, because we got a 115-degree angle. Now if you notice, none of the sides are equal. So that's a scalene triangle. So it's obtuse and scalene. So number 3, if you notice, you have two sides that are the same. So that means that that is isosceles. So that's an isosceles triangle. Now, if you notice here with this isosceles triangle, you have 68 degrees here, right? So then, if this is 68, that means that it's only 112 degrees left, because remember, all of these has to equal 180. So if this is 68, it's only 112 degrees left, which we would divide evenly between these two, but I'll show it out. So we know that we have 68 degrees, and then we have the other two angles. I just make both angles x, because we know that they're going to equal to each other. So then we will have 68 plus 2x equals 180. We'll subtract 68 on both sides, and 2x is equal to 112. We divide each side by 2, and x is 56. So we know all three angles are going to be less than 90 degrees, so that would make that an acute triangle. Now, for number 4, it says here, find the measure of the unknown angle in each triangle. So remember, each triangle must equal 180. So we have 72, 44, and we can make the missing angle x, and that's supposed to equal 180. Now, I'll put the degrees here, but typically I wait to the end of the problem to put the degree symbol there. So 72 and 44 is 116. 116 degrees plus x degrees is equal to 180. We'll subtract 116 degrees on both sides. So we have x degrees is equal to 180 minus 116, which will give us, what's that, 64. So it'd be 64 degrees. So it just basically is, it should just be x equals 64 degrees. So x is equal to 64 degrees. Okay, so now the next thing, we got number 5. Now number 5, they gave us 45. Now I'm going to write the degrees at the end. They gave us a 90-degree angle, and then we have x, and that equals 180. 45 plus 90 is 135, plus x equals 180. We'll subtract 135. So x is equal to 45. So that would be 45 degrees. Okay, now we look at number 6. Number 6, we had 27 plus 56 plus x equals 180. 27 and 56 is 83 plus x equals 180. We'll subtract 83 on both sides. So x equals 97. So it's 97 degrees. So that will be our answer. Class, we're going to finish this up with problem 7, 8, and 9. It says C, choose the one best answer to each question. Questions 7, 8, and 9 refer to the following figure. If angle DAB measures 115, let me just write that down. DAB is equal to 115 degrees. And DCB measures 95 degrees. What is the length of the side AC in centimeters? Okay, now let's take a look at angle BAC, because we don't have the angle for BAC or BCA. So let's find those angles, because that will help us out. So we know that angle DAB is 115 degrees. So what we would do is we would take the measure of angle BAC and then add the 55 degrees here, because BAD altogether, or DAB altogether, would be 115. So the measure of angle BAC plus the 55 degrees is supposed to be 115, because this all fits here. So we'll subtract 55 on both sides. So the measure of angle BAC is equal to 60. So we know that this would be 60 degrees here. Now we have to do BCA. So we would take the measure of BCA plus this 35 degrees, and it's supposed to equal 95 degrees. So we'll subtract 35 degrees on both sides, and we will have the measure of angle BCA is also equal to 60 degrees. So if this side is this angle is 60 and this angle is 60, then that means that angle B has to be 60 as well, because this would be an equilateral or equal angular triangle. Okay, so now it says, what is the length of side AC? So if this is 14 degrees, equilateral means all sides are equal and also all angles are equal. So that means AC has to be 14 as well. So 7 would be C. Okay, now number 8. What kind of triangle is triangle ACD? ACD. Now we know that we will have to, it looks like, oh, okay, they do have the sides and the angles. So if you look here with ACD, this is 55, this is 35. So that would equal to 90. So that means that this has to be 90 as well, and I will show that to you. So problem number 8, you got angle A plus angle C plus angle D has to equal to 180. Angle A is 55. Angle C is 35, and we don't know what angle D is. 55 and 35 is 90. So we subtract 90 on both sides, and angle D is equal to 90. So that's 90 degrees. So that means that this triangle is a right triangle, which we have here, which is C. So it's a right triangle. Now we go here to number 9. It says one angle in a scalene triangle measures 38, and another angle measures 56. What is the measure of the third angle? So remember, our triangles have to equal 180 degrees. So we have 38 degrees plus 56 degrees plus a missing angle here is equal to 180 degrees. 38 plus 56 is 94 degrees. So 94 degrees plus x is equal to 180. So we'll subtract 94 degrees on both sides, and x should equal 86 degrees. So that would be C. So now that concludes lesson 2 from chapter 7. I will upload this to YouTube, so have a wonderful day.